great to have a secret formula to prevent blisters while you're walking the Camino de Santiago? Well, we do, and we're going to share it with you right now. Hi, Pilgrims. I'm Sue.
And I'm Anne Marie, and we are Sisters de Santiago.
We're here today to talk about how to avoid the dreaded three: friction, moisture, and pressure that cause blisters and can ruin your Camino experience.
With a bit of preparation, you can keep your feet happy and blister-free. Before you even start walking, the first thing you need to do is choose a shoe that's right for you. For us, that ideal shoe is a non-waterproof trail runner.
Trail runners offer significant advantages over hiking boots for long-distance treks. They're lighter, they're more breathable, and they're quicker to dry and more flexible.
If you believe trail runners are the right shoe for you also, which ones do you choose? There are 3 top brands on the market today: Ultra, Topo, and Hoka.
For me, my shoe of choice is the Ultra Olympus 4 Trail Runners. And I've worn this same pair of shoes on our 3 Caminos, and I still absolutely love them.
I wore the Ultra Lone Peak 6 on the Camino Frances and Chemin de Puy. I then switched over to the Ultra Olympus 2 for the Camino Portuguese because I was dealing with foot issues similar to plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis.
Actually, we both were struggling with these, but it hasn't stopped us yet. When you purchase your pair of trail runners, make sure you buy a half a size larger than you'd normally wear, and make sure there is sufficient room in the toe bed. Your feet will swell when you're walking long distances, and you need to choose a shoe that will accommodate this.
If your shoes are perfect except for a bit of slippage in the heel, then try heel lock lacing. This is a lacing technique that tightens up the back of the shoe and prevents some of the slipping that can cause a lot of friction and also often causes wear on the back of the shoe. There are a ton of YouTube videos out there that demonstrate how this system works if you're unfamiliar with it.
Another thing both of us do is bring a pair of trail running sandals. You got yours?
Yeah.
Great. We both have the Teva Universal Trail Runners, and they're fabulous. These are our backups if by chance we have any issues on the trail with our shoes, but so far we haven't had to switch into them. It does add weight to our packs over the smaller sandal, but even if we don't use them on the trail, having a comfortable and supportive sandal while walking in town at the end of a day is incredibly blissful.
For the last 3 Caminos we've walked, we have used 1,000 Mile Fusion socks, which have built-in liners. We don't hear anyone talking about them much, but they've been great for us. Their only downfall is that they don't dry overnight, most of the time, and have to be hung on the backpack the next day while you're walking. If you've watched any of our vlogs, you'll see our socks hanging on the packs almost every day.
The socks you do hear time and time again from pilgrims and hikers alike are the darn tough wool socks. They are not cheap, but they do have a lifetime warranty. I've decided to give them a try on our next Camino, actually, but I will be pairing them with silk liners because I strongly believe that extra layer of defense is important to minimize friction that can cause blisters. Some people swear by toe sock liners like the Injinji, but I haven't used them and neither has Anne Marie, so we really can't talk about them. But if you have, please leave a comment below and let us know what you think of them.
And whatever sock you choose, we recommend bringing 3 pairs with you, definitely. Don't get a pedicure. I know it's really nice to be pampered and have those calluses scraped off and your feet feel brand new and baby soft, but that's not the kind of skin you want to take trekking on your Camino.
You want hiker's feet. They aren't pretty, but they are functional. You want to build up those calluses, which can be done by hitting the trail and training in advance of leaving for your Camino.
Keeping your toenails trimmed is essential on the Camino. Make sure you bring nail clippers with you.
If your toenails are too long, and it really doesn't take much, you will suffer from hiker's toe. Although this is not necessarily painful, it's not good for your toenails and is definitely not pretty. What happens is that you actually bruise the nail bed and the nail turns black, and it could also fall off. I experienced this on the Chemin de Puy, and it literally took me 10 months for my nail to grow back out. Now that you've found the shoes that fit well and you've chosen your socks, the next step is to ensure you employ a foot regimen on the trail that is going to further help you reduce friction and moisture buildup, which are the major culprits to the dreaded blister. On our last 3 Caminos, we used the same foot regimen every day with much success.
So you're probably like, okay, what is it? Well, it's a pretty simple yet incredibly effective solution. Vaseline and sheep's wool.
Vaseline is a lubricant and will help prevent the friction that causes blisters. So I'm going to demonstrate what we do each morning before we start walking. We take our little tube of Vaseline and we rub it between our toes and around, and anywhere that you have issues. So for me, some more on the heel, on both sides of the heel here. There, just like that.
You don't do the whole foot?
No, do you?
I do. It's like, oh, I'm learning. But
well, maybe that's good for you. Yeah, I mean, if you have problems, if you have like a high arch, you might want to just do it up there. Actually, it feels really good too. It is a little strange in the beginning when you first try it, because you're like, it feels slimy and you're thinking that doesn't seem like it will work, but it's great. Each morning, we also evaluate if we have any problems with our feet to determine if we need to use the sheep's wool. The secret is in the lanolin, and which is a natural wax that keeps the lamb's wool coat dry. And people have been using lanolin for centuries to draw perspiration and moisture away from their skin. Our brand of choice for sheep's wool is Wooroo Wool, which is out of New Zealand. It is available for purchase on Amazon, and we'll put a link below. But please remember, you can't buy this in Spain, so you will need to bring it with you ahead of time. I don't have any pre-existing issues to deal with, but my sister does.
yes, I sure do. I have bunions and my toes overlapped and rubbed together. To address any potential issues before they happen, I use sheep's wool as part of my daily regimen. Take a small piece of wool and place it directly in the area where you think you're prone to blisters, or you have one actually. For this, I wrap it around here because they do rub, my toes rub. So I wrap it here, and then I also use it on my bunion here to start off. And I do that right away, right when I start on the first day, so that it doesn't bother me.
For me, I evaluate my feet every morning, and if I notice any irritation or I feel a hot spot coming on, then I do apply sheep's wool also.
Sometimes you might not even know that you have a blister, and when you look, you'll see something's forming.
Yep. When you're on the trail, listen to your feet. If you feel a hot spot coming on, stop immediately and address it.
Whatever you do, don't wait to see if it'll go away. If you do, most often it will lead to something bigger, like a blister.
Yeah. So if you do feel a hot spot while you're on the trail, you just take some of your sheep's wool and you put it directly on the spot that's bothering you. So I've got my sock on right here, and say it's right here on my heel. So I would just pull my sock down and put it right there. If you need to put a little Vaseline on there, also I would suggest that, and that will keep it in place. And then you're good to go, and just put your shoe back on. Please know that we are not sponsored by any of the brands we've talked about today. We just believe in them wholeheartedly. And if you want to find additional information, we have put links below to the brands and where you can buy them.
Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips for walking your next Camino.
Sisters de Santiago signing off and wishing you a buen camino.
And happy feet.